my dearest for always. It has been so long since I have written you a letter. I thought I would write you a little love note, as I have not been sleepy tonight. While you were dreaming in your dreams, I was dreaming on paper, and I wrote it down so you could read it. I want you to read it when you are in good humor, and then I want to go over the whole thing with you. If we do, I am sure you will agree with me that we will have a rich happiness in our old age. For I have worked long and conscientiously on a thing which my heart and soul is in, and I hope it pleases you. With everlasting love, Henry. This is how Henry Claywell worked to instill a commitment to saving money in his beloved wife, Betty. Mr. Claywell was a teacher whose desire to help his fellow educators was approached with the same passion he demonstrated, taking care of his family. To this end, he was one of a small group that formed Hillsborough County Teachers Credit Union, now known as Suncoast Schools Federal Credit Union, and he served as the first credit union CEO. Back in 1934, teachers didn't have options when it came to finance. They needed a place to get credit at a fair interest rate. They wanted a place where they could give and get help and look after one another. That spirit lives on today. Caring about members, each other, and the community. This is the credit union story.
When I was young in the credit union as one of the 4 employees, this lady came in one day when I was acting as a teller. She wanted to borrow X number of dollars without any kind of security at all. I was a little nonplussed and I went in to see Henry. I mentioned her name. He said, give her anything she wants. She's top customer. She came back in about 2 weeks and paid off the whole loan. And that impressed me tremendously that Henry knew these people well enough, these teachers and other school employees, that he knew how to trust them.
Henry Claywell was well known by the members. His main emphasis was to be friendly to the members, to serve them as best we could.
Henry Claywell was a visionary. He had an idea. He wanted to create a financial cooperative to help teachers in Hillsborough County, and he did it.
And it's hard to think, that all this started back in 1934 with Henry Claywell out of a little old leather satchel. And from that, it has grown to what it is today.
Mr. Claywell, on payday, my mother and other teachers would almost converge on his house, working at his dining room table. Teachers lining up, they were there for us and have been there for us.
I'm so proud of having been able to work with the founder, Henry Claywell, and hopefully play a little part in making it what it is today. It's just very personal to me.
With the foundation established during Henry Claywell's tenure, Mr. Perry Dawson began leading as chief executive in May 1967. Mr. Dawson, along with the board of directors and senior management, took the credit union to new heights, and staying true to Mr. Claywell's initial vision of putting needs of the member first.
How did Mr. Dawson show that he's a man of character? Is that he lived it.
I'm very fortunate to work with Perry Dawson. He was an outstanding man. He took over from Mr. Claywell and took the credit union to the next level at the time. He really was a fantastic innovator and did a lot for the credit union movement nationwide. Just an excellent man. I admire him greatly, and there's only one Perry Dawson, and he's quite a legendary individual in the credit union movement.
I came to Suncoast because of Perry Dawson. I appreciated his values and his vision of where he thought Suncoast could go, and I took a chance, and I've never regretted it.
And as Tom Doherty became CEO, the organization propelled forward. Mr. Doherty helped take the credit union to the next step, all the while not losing the initial vision of what the credit union stood for.
And as we transition to Mr. Tom Doherty, we've seen the same strengths, the same growth, the same energy, the excitement, the dedication that each of these men have ingrained into the staff and certainly imparted to our membership as well as to our board members.
As Tom Doherty, one of his first sayings used to be, work hard, tell the truth, and don't take yourself too seriously.
It was that strong team and the strong culture in this credit union that made the difference. It's that positive work environment that we have here, and I see it and I know others experience it.
And it's with that experience that has come some of the most impactful stories of how the credit union has lived out its founding philosophy. And it wasn't just the member that was affected.
Back in the middle 60s, met a young lady that I was very fond of, and one thing led to the other, and we simply decided to move forward, but I needed some money to kind of make it official. So I talked to a few other teachers, and they told me about this organization called Hillsborough County Teachers Credit Union. Didn't know a whole lot about them, but they told me that I could perhaps borrow some money. So I joined. I headed down to their office one afternoon after school, introduced myself, explained to them the situation, but apparently they saw something in me, or perhaps there was a sympathy angle, that they allowed me the loan of $350. I left that day with a check in that amount, and I was just the proudest young guy because I knew that that little gal and I were going to be able to visit a jewelry store and make a purchase of a diamond ring. Suncoast, Hillsborough County Teachers Credit Union, you created a bond that has been lasting to this day, and it is greatly appreciated.
Most memorable experience at Suncoast that comes to mind is being approached by a superintendent of schools in Hillsborough County in a restaurant. He took me out in the parking lot and showed me his vintage car that he had just restored. The story goes much further than that. That's the car he had bought 30 plus years ago when he first became a teacher, and had to put it aside in his barn while he raised a family, but had most recently renovated the car. And he just wanted me to know that for his entire adult career he had been with Suncoast, and that car represented that history for him.
Nearly 80 years have passed since the early beginnings of the credit union. There are countless stories of how Suncoast Schools Federal Credit Union has made a difference in the lives of its members. And as the credit union continues to move forward, Suncoast has an opportunity to continue to live out the philosophy of people helping people.
We never thought of profits, really. We thought of serving our school community.
They are there for the small business owners. They are there for the homeowners. They're there for the people who are striving to better themselves in so many ways.
No, but I can just simply say that my experience at Suncoast was great. It'll always be a matter of pride for me that the success continues to do that well. And I'm glad that I had a chance to participate in it and lead the way.
I think over the next 5 years, we have an opportunity to be incredibly successful here at Suncoast. We've been through some difficult times, but now we're poised to move forward. We have resources to help new members, to grow the organization, to expand our branch network, to improve technology, and do so many things to make this credit union better.
The credit union has always been for the little guy. It's just wonderful to see the way that they take care of people who are not of great means. They've worked very well with all of our members. We are member-oriented. Our staff has got a slogan that says, "Be the member," and that's what we really like about those individuals who work very carefully with our people. And the credit union is there to hold hand by hand and take you along the way. It's just a great organization. Suncoast is the best, the #1 credit union in this nation as far as I'm concerned.